Hello again, survivors. NK Productions back again. Today I am doing a Let's Talk. Haven't done Let's Talk in forever, since I think it was the Patriots and Hackers or something like that. I think that was the only Let's Talk I did. I don't know. Too lazy to look it up, I'll be honest. But I haven't actually done a video in a while. It's because I was in Colorado doing stuff and things. Yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys, out of boredom, decided to watch Spec Ops The Line, because it appears it's not getting as many views as it should be, because it's a great game. So yeah, I'd say check that out. Anyways, this Let's Talk is based around my want of an apocalypse game to like to fill my needs as a survival game type player. I would be playing Dayz because you guys are like, oh, I wanted a good apocalypse game, play Dayz, you know, but Dayz right now, I can't play it. You know, I had a character that I had for around, I don't know, it doesn't seem like that long, but like 6 or something in-game hours. That doesn't seem like that long within itself, but for me, it's a lot, because I always die because of these bandits with the IQ of 8 that hide inside buildings and handcuff you and stuff with their weapons that they find, you know, just all over everywhere, because weapons aren't hard to find at all. But I always die, and I'm like the only friendly person in there, because believe it or not, besides Apocalypse Rising, I'm friendly in tons of games. Rust and Dayz and every survival game I'm basically friendly in, until, you know, you either die friendly or a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a bandit. That's the truth of it. Batman. Yeah, Dayz, I can't really record it because of just the amazing amounts of desync and lag I get. Every time I meet a player, I can't even interact with them. It's just ridiculous, because it's like they'll be hopping around the map, you know, and stuff like that. And I've actually died a few times because I have no idea what, maybe lag or desync. I don't even know. But I was just walking on the boat, you know, this big crash boat with just this great gear. That's what I was with this guy that I had for like 6 in-game hours, whatever. Not super great, but great for me. After I found a heli crash, and I died because I was walking on the boat, and apparently I fell off, but I didn't know. Like, all of a sudden the screen turned black and it just says, "You are dead." And it's like, ow, my leg hurts. So I'm like, alright then, glad we got that figured out. Awesome. But, you know, for Dayz, they need to improve just aspects of the game that they're not focusing on. Because right now they're focusing on, ooh, let's add a new gun. Ooh, let's add a new animation. And I love guns as much as the next guy, and animations. But they need to add in some core aspects of the game to actually make it more playable and more fun. Because guns only help for a certain limit. Like, you can go in and find a gun, like, ooh, I found it. If you shoot somebody, like, ooh, I shot him. Alright. Now what? You know? They need more reinforcement on the group aspects and everything. And there is a really good, like, YouTuber guy. He does animation and stuff, and he has a thing, it's like a doodle rant that he does, and he has ideas for the game, and his name is Spaztasm. I'll put like a link in the description. He doesn't even know I exist or anything, but he's, you know, it's not like I'm collaborating or anything like that, but it's just, I watch him with videos, I'm like, wow, that has some really good ideas. So if you guys are interested, check him out, because he's actually has some good stuff. Now, onto the main aspect. Yeah. So, I feel as though games and movies these days, throw around apocalypse and survival like it's, you know, no big deal. They'll just be like, ooh, this is an apocalypse movie. Like, no, there's a government, and there's, you know, an active economy, and there's a military. It's not, you know, there's no really hardship. I don't know what like a name for it is called, but it's just kind of like dystopian. But they'll just throw that around, and for my idea of apocalypse, it's like little to no government, and where people basically kill each other or loot, you know, or have to go to extremely like dire needs and under the circumstances, like looting and stealing and killing and all of that. But yeah, it just like seems like movies and games, and especially games because because so many games throw around survival and apocalypse. Like if it's just a first-person shooter, they'll say, "Oh, it's an apocalypse game. It's a survival game because you have to gather food or find bullets or something like that." I'm like, no, it's not. Example, Contagion. Sorry, my microphone. Jeez, I actually have a new microphone. Well, not a new microphone, but I'm using this microphone because reasons. Yeah, hopefully it's better. But anyways, Contagion. I feel as though it's not really. I don't know. I don't feel it's a survival game. It's an apocalypse game, and it's not a survival game because I mean you have plenty bullets all the time. You don't have to worry about like inventory management or your food or anything, or it's not hardcore whatsoever. It's a first-person shooter. That's what it is to me. It's a first-person shooter with little aspects of apocalypse in it. And other games like, I don't know, I can't really think of many right now. But there's tons of games. I throw it around. And more annoying is every other survival apocalypse game are just knockoffs of Dayz that be like, "Oh, survive with your dog," or "Oh, you're a robot, so it's different," or stuff like that. And you're just like, you're kidding me? This is the exact same stuff, just recycled. It's still garbage, you know. And they don't even really care about what their aspects of the game. They just throw stuff out there, and it's really frustrating to me. And yeah, because survival apocalypse games can be so good if the developers really wanted them to. If they really tried, it could be so good. I mean, look at The Last of Us, for example. I know, referencing The Last of Us, real cliche. It's just one example, but for you guys that don't know, I love the game and I play it all the time and stuff like that. I'm too lazy to record it, and because it's already done, I can't really record it. So I'm kind of just waiting for The Last of Us 2, which will probably come out, because it probably will. If they don't, oh, I'm gonna riot. You know. Speaking of that, movie. They're making a movie, if you don't know, for The Last of Us. Hyped for that. Super hyped. And it's not just gonna be, hopefully it's not gonna be just some junk that they throw out there at all. It's actually written by the writers and of The Last of Us, and it is going to be different because all the cutscenes of the game are like 3.5 hours or something like that, ridiculous. So they can't even do that. They have to, rewrite the script and stuff. And they said that something's gonna be different, but I have full trust in Naughty Dog because it's Naughty Dog, and they never failed me now. So they never failed me, so they're not gonna fail me now. But, jeez, I'm getting off topic. Yeah, games, stuff like that. Yep. That's my idea of like an apocalypse type game is, have to manage your inventory, find food, bullets are scarce, whatever, all of that. And yeah, there actually are a few games though that I am excited about this year, or not this year, but next year mainly, because they just keep pushing games back. Like Dying Light. I want to play Dying Light, but they keep pushing it back. Like that to me, it's not a survival game. It's not a survival game. It's an apocalypse game though. And it looks cool. I'm gonna admit. And The Division. If you haven't heard about The Division, you should search it up. It looks so cool. I'm excited for it. Hopefully they won't mess it up. These AAA developers with these games are just hopping in the survival or the apocalypse, genre, usually mess it up somehow. And they usually mess up games because they just throw out just junk with no plot or story or character development or even, good voice acting. It's just this mediocre stuff with, explosions, things. It's like they think that we're 6-year-olds that can be entertained by blowing stuff up, and most people do. I do myself, but I would like something that has a little bit more impact to it, if that makes sense, a little bit more depth to it. So here's my idea for an apocalypse survival themed game. So in The Last of Us, we see the fireflies and the hunters. If you don't know who they are, they're just I'll use hunters as the example. It's like a group of raiders and bandits, basically. And I think it'd be awesome is you can control them. So imagine this: you're positioned in some city, and you're trying to survive and all that. So you send out like raiding parties and stuff like that to neighboring like cities, or not cities but like groups. Sorry, my mic like cut out there. That was weird. But yeah, so that'd be just really cool if you can control like a raiding group and like attack other groups and stuff like that. But I don't want it to be, just this strategic group control type thing. So that's honestly it's not as fun as it sounds. I think it'd be cool if you can go into first person as well and go into those raiding parties and those, ambushes and stuff and actually play those out. That'd be really cool. So you can control it and you can play it out, I think. Also, it'd be even better if it was multiplayer, because the AI would have to be quite good, and yeah. But multiplayer. So I think it'd just be so cool if you had like these huge wars with these other clans, and you're you're building these vehicles and mounting guns on them, and like maybe you have to find technologies or something like that to be able to repair weaponry, or power your area, or fix a generator, and you have to find and explore these areas and master the technologies. And maybe as people, like your character gets better in the game, you can, like, your character will upgrade or whatever, or will get skill points in certain areas, very depth type skill points, not just like, ooh, I'm gonna select attack or something like that. But your carpentry skills are like pretty high, so somebody, before, if they won't kill you, they'll be like, oh, wait, I'm an expert carpenter or something. You're like, whoa, we need you, man, come over, you join our group, build stuff and things, that type of thing. So you don't just kill people on sight, you want their knowledge as well, so you can, maybe you can kidnap like scientists or whatever to help them build bombs, or I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities in the game. And maybe there's like a ladder for leadership or something like that, so you could have like your leader, or if you want to be a democracy or whatever. But like, let's say you just have a leader of your group that would make all the decisions and be like, all right, we're gonna send out some raiding parties here, and then be like, all right, you go command that raiding party, and they'll be like step down to the leader that will command raiding parties and scavenging groups and defensive areas and things like that. So you could have like an actual structured group. That'd be extremely cool. Maybe also what I want, but I definitely want, is I want food to be a lot more less plentiful than bullets. I want food to be more valuable than bullets. So you won't trade a magazine of ammunition, or let's say this, I want bullets to be rare, so you don't just like go willy-nilly and just mow down people. Maybe like you'd want to trade a handgun, like I don't know, like 11 bullets in a magazine, or I don't know, something like that. Like, let's say you have 9 bullets in a magazine, and you want to be like, all right, trade this for 2 cans of sardines. And you'd actually want to do it because food is that scarce. Maybe not 2 cans of sardines, but like, I don't know, 4 rice or something like that. But I want food to be valuable in this game. It would be really cool, because if food was extremely valuable, people would go to dire needs in like the winter time. I want winter to be extremely tough and hard, and wipe out these groups, because the food is just so scarce, and you can't, hunting for game is harder. You can't grow your own crops. Scavenging is tougher. It's colder. You could die of hypothermia. All of that. That'd be just awesome. So imagine people going like these extreme needs and like cannibalizing their own group because you didn't have enough food, and that'd be so cool. But still, again, I don't want it to be just some kill on sight everything. I want it to be smart planning and intelligent, strategizing and creating groups for certain, or just really like heavy planning and strategizing, but also skill in the, like, I'm not saying strategizing and planning is not skillful, but quick in-game skill, like you're fighting somebody. The trading, so I want to be like, let's say you have these wars between these two huge groups, and maybe you're trading with some other groups to, like, all right, I'll give you some food, you give me some labor, or I'll give you technology, you give me bullets, that type of thing. You know, trading. So not like an in-game currency, but there is no currency. Like you have to make up your own, or maybe you just trade. Like there's a barter system, you know, and you could just make your own. So you have to decide what the value of things are, and I think that'd be really cool. Also, I think it'd be good if the game was dark, like I said, the cannibalism type thing. I don't know, maybe certain events, like there's a plague and it wipes out tons of people, you know, I don't know. Just dark things happen to make the game doesn't just seem like a joyride, but it doesn't seem like it's, you know, harsh, cry all the time, whatever. You know, I don't want it to be simulation of the road. That would be, that wouldn't be that fun to play. But I think if it was, you know, it was semi-dark or, you know, that type of thing, it'd be really good and it'd make it a lot better. Speaking of the road, if you haven't watched the movie or read the book, I do both. The movie's great, the book's even better, and the movie's really close to the book. And they're just amazing. So read and watch those. I guess I'll recommend movies. The Gray, great movie, good survival movie. You can't go wrong with Liam Neeson. So it's a great movie, in my opinion. Apocalypse Now, it's kind of weird, but it's a good movie. Interesting, you know, with the characters and how they change over the course of the, you know, the movie. It's kind of like Spec Ops: The Line, but it's in Vietnam and it's not as pronounced how the characters change, I think, in my opinion. But they do change a lot more. Because in the end of it, they're just like, I don't know, he's messed up. You'll see if you watch it. Another good movie for Apocalypse is Hell. It's this German movie. It's on Netflix, along with Apocalypse Now, The Road, The Gray, Hell. It's a German movie. It's in subtitles if you don't know German. And I don't, so I watched this for the subtitles. And it's a good movie. I like it. It's kind of like The Road, but it's where the sun is extremely hot, and you know, if you're outside for a few hours without clothing, you're gonna get like second-degree burns or something like that. And the last one is Goodbye World. So I watched that recently. It wasn't dark whatsoever, in my opinion, and it wasn't really that apocalyptic or survival-y, but it was good. Development and a lot of good. So if you're into that stuff, watch that. But like, it is slow, and it isn't like hardcore, you know, kill them all or whatever. No zombies or the like. But it is good, and yeah, it has a really low rating. But I thought it was alright. So yeah, that's basically it for my Let's Talk. Hopefully you guys enjoyed things. Thanks for watching. Peace, yo, 'cause I'm still not gonna do my outro because I'm rebelling for the months on end. Alright, just bye guys, bye. I'm gonna come to your house tonight. You're gonna be strapped to a chair. It's not gonna be nice. It's gonna be quite uncomfortable.